Okay, guys, here's the last video. I'm going to do this one kind of quick because hopefully by now you're a pro at this. This is a parallelogram, so my area is going to be, oopsies, this is the bad pen. The area is going to be base times height. Remember, the base has to be perpendicular to the height, so if my base is 10, my height, explaining the heights from here to here, remember, it has to be perpendicular. These are the same thing, they just drew it outside. In some of my classes, we talked about how if you were measuring the Eiffel Tower, or sorry, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, we're not going to drill through the floor to figure out the height, but if we went out to the edge, we could drop a string, and that would tell us how high we were off the ground. So that's why that's the height. So I'm multiplying by 5, so my area here is going to be 50. Got to be careful with our units, so yards squared. Area is going to be something squared. Okay, here we have a triangle, so we're going to do area equals 1/2 base times height. My base is 6 yards. My height, remember, has to be perpendicular. Okay, if you turn it, it's a little easier to see. Here's my base, and then my height is perpendicular. Okay, so 2.5. So if I do 1/2 times 6 times 2.5, I get a grand total of 7.5, again, yards squared. Okay, now we have a trapezoid. Well, we know our formula is 1/2 height base 1 plus base 2. Oop, we don't know what our height is, but that's okay. We can solve for it using the Pythagorean theorem. I know that 2 squared plus h squared is equal to 5 squared. So I have, I'm running out of space here. So 4 plus h squared equals 25. H squared equals 21. So h equals the square root of 21. So right now for height, I'm just going to put in square root of 21. My bases are 6. And then 2 plus 6, which is 8. If I type that all into my calculator, make sure you're typing really carefully. So notice I'm going to have half, so 1/2. Times the square root of 21. Notice how I'm using my parentheses. And then 6 plus 8, that's 14. Okay, so my final answer is going to be 32. Sorry, we didn't give you rounding instructions if we don't always default to the thousands place. And it's feet. Okay, number 52. We know this is a kite. The area for a kite is 1/2 diagonal 1, diagonal 2. I knew because of the markings for the sides here, here, and here. Well, the length of diagonal 1 is 20 meters. The length of diagonal 2 is 30 meters. Which gives me a grand total of 300 meters squared. Okay, we've got a rhombus here. We know because it's a rhombus and it's a parallelogram, my diagonals bisect each other, so that means that this whole thing is 6. This whole thing is 10. So my area for my rhombus is 1/2 diagonal 1, diagonal 2. Okay. My total area is going to be 30 feet squared. Okay, what is the area of an equilateral triangle? Sorry. Whose sides are 3 inches long. So this is going to be 3, this is going to be 3, this is going to be 3. I'm going to give you a hint. I actually don't want to solve this one for you guys. Hint is it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. See if you can solve. This is going to be your base. I want you guys to finish that one by yourself. Okay, down here we've got a rhombus. We know for a rhombus that we meet at a 90-degree angle here. If this is 60, this is going to be 30. If this is 4, this will also be 4. In order to get from the short side to the medium side, we multiply by root 3. So that is going to be 4 root 3. That right there is going to be 4 root 3. So if I want to find the area of my rhombus, it's going to be 1/2 diagonal 1, which is 8. Diagonal 2 is 4 root 3 plus 4 root 3. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can rewrite this as a total of, we have 4 root 3s and 4 root 3s. That means we have a total of 8 root 3s. But you can type this straight into your calculator, okay? So I will do it that way for you guys. I have 1/2 times 8 times, we have 4 root 3 plus 4 root 3 This 4 root 3 plus 4 root 3 is all in a separate set of parentheses. Okay? Same thing if I did 0.5 times 8 times 8 root 3. Same thing. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize that was hard to see before. So if you need to look at that for a minute, you can. Okay, so our area for this rhombus was 55.426 meters squared. Okay, we have to solve for h. Well, we know the best way to do that is we can say, okay, if we can find the area, we know the area equals base times height. And for any parallelogram, we can find the area two ways. So we can do base times height equals base times height. Well, for this base here, the perpendicular height is 12. So I know to find the area, I can do 6 times 12. I need to solve for h. This height goes with this base here. Okay. 6 times 12 is 72. And if I divide both sides by 9, I get h equals 8. My height is 8. Remember, it's just going to be miles because it's a distance. It's not an area. Okay, now we have some composite figures. I am not going to solve these for you, but what I am going to do is just show you what shapes I would break these up into. Okay, you have a couple choices. For this 157, you could choose to either split it up into a rectangle and a triangle, or you could choose to split it up into a rectangle and a trapezoid. Okay? For number 58, you can break it up into 2 rectangles. For number 59, I would recommend breaking it up into a rectangle, and a triangle. So I will let you guys finish those by yourself. You might notice there's a couple things that are missing on here. There's nothing on here on topic 23C or D. So I'm going to say study or look over these on area packet. That was our fault. We forgot to leave it on here, but you're still responsible for it. Okay, so for topic 23C or D, study and look over those types of problems on the area packet.